Another weekend, another severe thunderstorm outbreak for Australia. At least that's the way it's felt over the past 5 or 6 weeks. And this weekend, no different, with storms a risk for many. Today is Saturday, the 15th of November. I'm Angus, and this is a severe weather update. And the first thing I wanted to show you was the most recent satellite image, just to show the general air of cloudiness over central Australia. Clouds starting to build across the eastern states as well. It's not quite as cloudy out here, but this cloud is increasing at the moment, primarily because of this. This map here is showing us precipitable water, and what that really means is where we see the dark greens and the blues on this map, there is lots of moisture in the atmosphere. Lots of moisture available to become cloud, to turn to rain, and that moisture will fuel the development of thunderstorms later today. And look at this big whack of moisture down the eastern side of the country. We will see that reflected in our thunderstorm outlook map for Saturday. So if I put that on here, we can see storms in the forecast for large parts of the country. Anywhere that we've got the colours on this map, we could see thunderstorms today, and the brighter colours, the yellows and the reds, that's where we could see severe thunderstorms. So there is a region here just northwest of Uluru across the WA-NT border, but far more people could be impacted by severe storms on this side of the country here. So let's zoom into the east coast and take a look at which areas are at risk. So in Queensland, we're looking at the central tablelands down to the southeast coast and up into the Darling Downs Granite Belt region, then across the border into northern New South Wales from the coast up to the western slopes and plains, and then following the Great Dividing Range southwards, including some coastal areas as well, right down to the southern border and into eastern Victoria. In the yellow regions here, this is where we could see damaging wind gusts, heavy rainfall or large hailstones later today once these severe thunderstorms ramp up. But the red region here in the middle, this is not only where severe thunderstorms are most likely to occur today, this is where we could see even more significant weather impacts in the form of giant hailstones, potentially 5 centimetres or greater across, and destructive winds, 120 kilometres an hour or stronger. The region here where we could see those really high-end impacts go from western parts of Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast up into the hinterlands, across Toowoomba, into the Darling Downs, then across the southern border ranges and into the northwestern slopes of New South Wales. I actually want to go straight into Sunday as well. We'll wrap up this whole weekend in one, and on Sunday we'll see this band of wet and stormy weather moving eastwards, crossing parts of the coast of Queensland, actually moving off the coast of New South Wales during the course of the day, and it does brighten up for this part of the country here, and then another little pulse of rain moving into the far south. So the thunderstorm map for tomorrow, for Sunday, looks fairly similar, although parts of New South Wales, that storm risk has greatly reduced. So around Sydney and surrounding areas, much lower chance of thunderstorms, but from Port Macquarie northwards across the border into much of eastern and central Queensland, we could continue to see severe thunderstorms, as well as throughout large parts of northern Australia. So both on Saturday and on Sunday, where these storms do develop, they could bring some pretty significant weather impacts with them. Damage to cars and property, particularly from that large or giant hail, is absolutely possible, and we've seen that happen many times in the last few weeks. We could also see power outages, travel and transport delays, as well as flash flooding coming in with that rainfall. Flooding could close roads, it could move into houses and properties, and potentially we could see some rivers start to climb if we do see significant rain across those river catchment areas. Finally, one more thing, I wanted to now show you the map for Monday, just to highlight that it's pretty much all gone off the east coast by Monday. This is a weekend risk for Queensland and New South Wales. Saturday, Sunday are our two big days. Into next week, while it's much clearer and calmer across this region here, anyone who is watching from the far north could continue to see severe thunderstorms and heavy rainfall, and parts of Western Australia could also see some storms to kick off next week as well. Today would be a good day to keep an eye on severe thunderstorm warnings, which will be issued and updated as these storms develop and move across the country. So do keep an eye on those on the Bureau's website or the Bureau's app. Thanks very much for watching, and stay safe.